It's nice to finally meet you, Peter. How have you been doing?
Not bad. A little bit cold, but apart from this, not bad.
Yeah, just British weather for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Right, first question then. What's the meaning behind Skyforger's name?
It's a mythology, local Latvian mythology. It's when I made the name, I was not sure. I'm not so good in English. I mean, skysmith.
Yeah.
And skysmith is like a thunder god. Language is a Berku and thunder god. And so it sounded to me more like Aerosmith, skysmith. I found another word, forger.
Yeah.
I made like something like this, Skyforger.
Yeah.
But it's like thunder god.
Yeah. Is there an image or concept behind the band's name Skyforger?
Yeah, of course it is, because we are, if I can say like this, we are some national patriotic band which sings about Latvian history and things like this. That's why there's such name.
Yeah. Right. Latvia's metal scene rarely gets mentioned over here in the UK, especially by the press. Are there any bands, aside from Skyforger, from Latvia's metal scene that you'd recommend to our readers?
Yeah, there is quite a few bands. Of course, I believe no one almost know them here. But there is one old band we played and started together. It's called Sanctimony.
Yeah.
They play something in the vein of Entombed, of Last Entombed, like a death and roll, something like this. Then there is another new bands who are rising now. One friend playing in a band called The Same,
Yeah.
playing like old school death metal. There's another bands, Rebel Riot, for example, they are playing 80s heavy metal.
Yeah.
And some others, but you must just then go to Latvia and see there.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to get myself a trip over there someday then. I understand that you're writing new material for the next Skyforger album.
Yeah.
Following in the same, will it be following in the same vein as previous Skyforger albums? Focusing on Latvian mythology and different parts of Latvia's history.
Almost there, but we are focusing now on the Baltic history, and there was one nation who is no more. There was old Prussians, the people who lived in Prussia,
Yeah.
who later get known as a German country. And before there was lived these people, and there was a part of our nation, and they are no more. But in those times, there was like a cultural center of Baltic people. So I chose to make this topic because many people in our country, Latvia and Lithuania, today almost don't know about them nothing. But
Yeah.
in those times, there was a big and have a big influence on their culture.
Yeah. As you said, you're focusing more on the Baltic history with the next album. Are there going to be, aside from Prussia, are there going to be any specific areas of Baltic history that you'll be focusing on with the next Skyforger album?
Next door at all.
Yeah.
Whatever album. In the future.
Yeah.
Especially this next one.
Yeah, the next one, yeah.
It will be mostly a history of this nation, and of course some mythology, and I try to take almost and make lyrics about every aspect to make them to be known, to make this topic clear for people who don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Obviously, Skyforger's previous albums have focused heavily on Latvia's mythology, culture, and history. Is there any point in Latvian history which you feel is your favourite part of Latvia's history or mythology?
There is two of these times. The one is the 13th century when we fought against the Crusader invasion.
Yeah.
This is one big part because after this invasion, our nations almost fell down, and like in the dark times. and next is First World War, when we rise up and have our freedom again.
Yeah.
So this 2 times is for me very important.
Yeah. If you could be any deity from Latvian mythology, which one would it be and why?
Of course, it's a thunder god, because you know it's like god of war and thing like he's so good for man, for real man.
Yeah.
So it's the same like Thor and Wotan and all these guys.
Yeah. Good choice. This is your first time playing York and the first time you've played the UK in over 4 years. How are you feeling about playing here tonight at Warhorns Festival?
Of course, we feel great because we see a lot of people here and a lot of our native people came over here. It was unexpected, of course. I thought before when this started to organize, I thought maybe it will be not that big and not that it will be just a small concert in a club, but it seems 3 times better.
Yeah.
So I hope too, and in the end will be great.
If you'd never become a musician, what would you see yourself as?
So what?
If you hadn't become a musician, what career would you see yourself in instead?
It's hard to say because I'm not, but there's a 2 aspects. The one is if you become a musician, I always see that you become like a little bit like stagnant because you start to follow the one path who is already there. You always want to become more professional, more to play, complicated. And on another hand, not being a musician, I consider myself more as a composer. I have a little bit freedom in my mind.
Yeah.
This is thing I love, I think, more than be a professional musician. Because professionals take it easy, they don't think about anything. They are, we can do anything.
Yeah. If you could replace the soundtrack to any film, which one would it be and why?
It's hard to say. There is some Latvian films, but I think it's not important because no one knows the names, but from international, maybe Braveheart.
Yeah.
When I was young, the film was one of the best at those times.
Yeah. It's still one of the best to this day, in my opinion.
Yeah. But when I looking back, I see this all Hollywood, let's say, shit it's going through. And about I don't know how correct history is shown there. I'm not sure. But that one film. Okay, I will do the soundtrack.
Yeah. Obviously you're working on new material for the next Skyforger album. When can we expect it to be released?
Somewhere in the next year. We just have 8 songs and we need 1 more. And it will take time. Then I need to write the lyrics down and record sessions, all the things. I think just maybe if we will be lucky and everything will go as well, maybe in the next springtime.
Yeah. The new album, will it be following like the same musical vein as the last album, Curd-Bads?
Yeah, I think it will be not. There will be not so much folk parts there. We choose to abandon some of them because we think that maybe overdo that in the tour. But a lot of bands play like this these days, and we are like focusing more on metal stuff. So it could be a bit raw and more heavy than Curd-Bads, I think. I hope. Never know.
Right, just a sec. I think that's it really. Do you have anything that you'd like to say to our readers before we finish up?
I want to say every guy here in England who came to our concerts, a big support for us, and of course these things is just like made band go on, and there's the fans who support the band. Like we take hats off. We are very happy, you know, the band from Latvia to play in a different foreign country. There is some fans who are always very happy about this.
All right, thanks for your time, Peter, and have a great show tonight.
I hope. Yeah, thank you too.